Hello guys and gals, and this is part 2 of 1 Minute Favorite Fairy Tales by Shari Lewis and illustrated by Benton Mahan. This was a discarded book from the library, and I thought it would make a rather neat book to read on camera. This is from, I believe, 1991, I want to say. Yes, 1991. Anyways, when we left this off in the last episode, we talked about, we read the letter to the parents, which I'm going to call the introduction. Sleeping Beauty, Chit Chat, the goose and the golden egg, and the frog prince. In this one, we will be reading one particularly small, smart boy, Baba Yaga and the Hedgehog, Thumbelina, Sheherazade, and the Fairies. And that will be that. So I'll just have you finding the page here. Okay, that was the last one we read. And here we are. As always, we're going to look at the pictures first. This is also a Persian. This is a Persian fairy tale. There's only 2 pictures. And let's get right on into this. Once upon a time, a little boy was walking home from the village with only an egg and some salt in his pocket. Suddenly a big, mean giant jumped out from behind the tree and said, "Say your prayers, little boy. I'm going to eat you up for lunch." The boy, who was small but very smart, quickly said, "Oh, great giant, I know you are strong, but so am I. Let's have a contest to see who is the strongest." The giant snorted, "Compared to me, you are no bigger than a blade of grass. I'll mow you down right now. On with the contest." The boy quickly snuck the egg from his pocket into his palm, the palm of his hand where the giant couldn't see it. He picked up a rock in the same hand and said, "I challenge you to squeeze this rock until water comes out. As I will. Then the boy squeezed the egg and the rock together until the eggshell broke. The egg oozed between his fingers. Of course, the giant thought the water actually came from the rock and was shocked. Then the boy secretly took some salt from his pocket, picked up another rock and said, "Now I'm going to squeeze this rock into salt." After a few squeezes, he let the salt pour out. Then he turned to the giant. "And now give me your hand and I'll squeeze it into mud." But the giant cried, "Oh no you won't," and he ran away, never to bother that particularly small, smart boy ever again. Okay, I believe this is Russian. Yeah, Baba Yaga. I do know the story of Baba Yaga. I've read several fairy tales on stream, on camera about Baba Yaga. Okay. First of all, an introduction. It says, she's cooking that poor hedgehog. Okay, it says, Baba Yaga was a Russian witch who, it is said, used to wander the forest looking for bad Russian children to eat for dinner. However, unless you are a bad Russian child, don't give her a second thought. So, Baba Yaga and the Hedgehog. Baba Yaga was searching for a black sunflower. She knew that if she ate its petals, she would live for another 200 years. However, she found a hedgehog instead. Since she had no sunflower, Baba Yaga decided the hedgehog would do for dinner. And the next thing he knew, that hedgehog was in a pot surrounded by vegetables. "Don't eat me, Baba Yaga," pleaded the little animal. Baba Yaga was shocked. "Who taught you to speak so well?" "As my mother and father were admiring a beautiful flower in the garden, Mother said, 'I wish I could have a son, even if he were no bigger than a hedgehog.' Soon after that, I was born. Everybody laughed at them because they had a hedgehog for a son, and so I was sent away to live in the forest." Can you imagine? All because of a big black sunflower. Baba Yaga gasped and quickly said, Take me to the sunflower, and I won't cook you for dinner." And the hedgehog did. The minute Baba Yaga pulled up that black sunflower by its roots, the hedgehog turned into a little boy named Ivan, who ran home to his mother and father. And so Baba Yaga didn't eat the hedgehog, and she did eat the leaves of the black sunflower. And she did live for another 200 years, but the time is up by now, so you certainly needn't worry. That was Baba Yaga and the Hedgehog. So the boy was actually a hedgehog. That's cool. Okay, now this is a Danish fairy tale, and it is called Thumbelina. Thumbelina was born inside. Oh wait, there she is. She looks like she's about the size of a frog. Okay. And okay, cool. Thumbelina was born inside a beautiful tulip, and even though she was no bigger than a thumb, she was cute. So cute, in fact, that one day a mean old frog who happened to be hopping by saw her and said, "You're going to marry my son," and carried her away. Okay, well that's kind of rude of that frog, I would think. Placing Thumbelina on a large green lily pad, the frog went off to fetch her son. But as poor Thumbelina began to cry, a passing fish overheard her and pulled the lily pad across the river to the edge of the forest. Thanking the fish, Thumbelina quickly ran away as fast as she could. Deep in the forest, she came upon a wounded bird, whom she nursed back to health in order to repay her. The bird said, "Climb on my back, and I will take you to the most beautiful garden in the world." When they arrived inside, one of the flowers was a transparent man. You could see right through him. He was no bigger than Thumbelina, and he was wearing a golden crown. "I am the spirit of the flowers," said the man. "My friend the bird has told me of your kindness, and you're just my size. Would you like to be my wife?" Thinking she'd probably be better off with this man than with a frog, Thumbelina said yes. The little man led her to a throne which was in the flower, right next to his, and there were two tiny people joyfully spent the rest of their days. And there, these two people, joyously spent the rest of their days there in the flower. That was wonderful. Now, next is Scheherazade. This is an Arabian tale. I just love how colorful they're dressed. I mean, that's just really awesome. I'm not really familiar with Arabian culture, but I know like movies like Aladdin and stuff like that. But anyways, here we have Scheherazade. There was once a very powerful but cruel Arabian king called a sultan, who had several wives. When the sultan tired of them, he decided to have them beheaded. He said, "I'm going to kill one wife each day, but I can't do it myself. I'll have my assistant, the guard vizier, do it for me." This is sounding a lot like Aladdin, except way too dark. The Grand Vizier's daughter Sheherazade was horrified at the news, but the vizier knew that if he refused, the sultan would kill him too. So Scheherazade said, "I'll give myself to the sultan as his next bride, and I'll put an end to all of this nonsense." The sultan was delighted to take Scheherazade as wife, but he assured the Grand Vizier that there would be no exceptions. The morning after the wedding, his wife would die too. Scheherazade and the Sultan were married, and that night she started to tell him a wonderful story. By the Sultan's bedtime, the story had not ended, so he said he would let Scheherazade live an extra day until she finished the tale. The next night she told more of her fabulous story, but once again the Sultan's bedtime came before the story ended. At this point the Sultan was completely enchanted by the story and was beginning to be enchanted by the clever girl as well. Clever girl. Jurassic Park reference, by the way. Blue. Scheherazade managed to make her story last for 1,001 nights. Oh, I get it now. By then, the Sultan realized that he loved Scheherazade, and a vow to love is greater than a vow to kill. So she really became his wife, once and for all, which put an end to his wife-killing, but not to her storytelling. And I think this is going to be the last one that we read. Yeah. This is going to be the last one that we read. I'm going to only do about 5 or 6 of these at a time. And this one is actually a French fairy tale, which is really neat that they have like where the nationalities are. So here we have that. Oh, I do remember this one. I have heard this story. Anyways, I know what this is about. This is a good one. It says, there once was a widow who had 2 daughters. The oldest was like her mother, nasty, proud, and unpleasant, and the younger took after her father and was very kind. But the mother loved the nasty old daughter and made her sweet young daughter do all the work, including going to the well for water. One day a fairy disguised as a ragged woman came to the well and asked for a drink. The pleasant girl gave it to her gladly. The fairy said, "Since you are so kind, I shall make you a gift. Every time you speak a word, a jewel or flower will fall from your lips." When the girl arrived home with her jug of water, she was scolded for being late. "Forgive me," said the poor girl, and a rose and a petal fell from her mouth. Stunned, the mother said, "What happened to you at the well?" As her daughter told her, diamonds, rubies, and emeralds came tumbling out. So the very next day, the mother sent the older daughter down to the well, thinking that she too would be charmed when she spoke. The old daughter went grumbling all the way. At the well, the ragged woman asked for a drink. The older sister snapped, "Here, have your drink and hurry up." "That's not very polite," said the ragged woman. "Since you are so nasty, I shall give you a gift. Every time you speak, a frog or a snake shall fall from your lips." As the older daughter approached home, her mother ran out to meet her. "Well, how did it go?" "Not so well, mother," said the nasty girl, and 2 frogs and 2 snakes jumped from her mouth. Then the fairy suddenly appeared before them in shimmering clothes. Your sister's kindness was rewarded with diamonds and pearls, your nastiness with frogs and snakes. In this life, you get what you give." Okay, and in the next one, we will be reading The Doll in the Grass, Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, The Flying Horse, and the cat of Catan. Yeah, that'll do for now. This has been 1 Minute Fairy Tales by Shari Lewis and illustrated by Benton Mahan. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. With that being said, I appreciate any and all support. All that information will be in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.